Hey guys, it's Epic here, and just a day after releasing their first downloadable patch, Gearbox are releasing a hotfix to end all OP-ness in the Borderlands universe. In this video I'll go over them, but if you want to read them for yourself, the link to the article is in the description down below. So Gearbox start off by saying that sniper rifles deal high damage but felt a little cumbersome to use in some certain scenarios. This change will increase their overall damage and increase usability in more combat engagements. So now critical damage on snipers has been increased by 20%, fire rate has been increased by 15%, time to ADS has been reduced by 15%, and time to equip has been reduced by 20%. As for pistols, they finally got around to snapping Jakobs up, stating that Jakobs and Torque pistols were outperforming other manufacturers, dealing damage to groups of enemies at a much higher rate than other pistols. They go on to say that this change keeps their identity intact, but reduces the overall group control. TDO, Dull, and Children of the Vault pistols have manufacture penalties that affected their overall damage. So now they're hoping that increasing their damage is going to balance everything out and kind of make it feel like it's on a level playing field. So damage on all TDO and Dull pistols will be increased by 15%, damage on Children of the Vault pistols will be increased by 20%, they're reducing the damage on Jakobs pistols by 15%, and they're reducing damage on Torque pistols by 10%. Now to save you guys some time for the Maliwan statement, they basically say that Maliwan is total arse, as you guys already know. So now all Maliwan weapon damage will be increased by 25% and all Maliwan weapon fire rate will be increased by 20%. Luckily now they move on to Atlas, saying that while they do have a cool tracking mechanic with Atlas, the damage really doesn't make that mechanic worth using at all. So they have now increased Atlas weapon damage by 25%. Going into miscellaneous changes now, the Jakobs assault rifle damage will be increased by 20%, Dahl SMG damage will be increased by 10%, Vladov heavy weapon damage will be increased by 25%, and then a huge buff here in E-Tech TD or shotgun damage, which has now been increased by 50%, and I'm glad they have done that because honestly TD or shotguns just feel so underpowered. Now into the legendary modifications, and guys, look how they butchered my boy. The King and Queen's core fire rate has been reduced by 50%. Can we get some F's in the comments section please? Also the Firestorm and Storm, who gives a you know, I don't think anyone cares about that. They have completely butchered King and Queen's Call. As for Graveward, he's now getting his own revenge on us Vault Hunters because they're saying his beam attacks did not properly scale, and let me just save you guys some time here. They have turned Graveward into a fucking killing machine. If you are one of them people who abused this guy with the porcelain pipe bomb, you are screwed. They've now made the attacks of Graveward scale based on level, they've reduced his overall health by 20%, increased his resistance to elemental damage, they've increased his elemental chance resistance by 70%, and they've made his elemental resistance buffs increase by 30%. They've also made his damage over time duration taken down by 30%. So if you really enjoyed melting Graveward, I think it's time to find yourself another boss to farm. They've also now made it that legendary loot drops have been balanced throughout the game, and they say that crew challenge enemies will drop their intended specific loot, and some enemies like Troy and the Rampager will be a bit more stingy and no longer drop legendaries every kill. And that's really nice to see because by now after killing Troy, I pretty much don't even count the Oculist as a legendary drop. Into Vault Hunter adjustments, they've given overall damage buffs to Zane, making his clone, drone and other rocket attacks deal a lot more damage. Amara has been slightly nerfed but also slightly buffed at the same time, and Flak has also been receiving a little bit of a nerf but nothing too significant for me to read out. So again, if you want to see all of the notes, they are in the description down below. Anyway guys, that does it for this video. Give me your thoughts on the patch notes and the nerfs. What do you think about this? I personally think it's a good thing. I'm glad to see them balancing out the game because since launch it's really felt like it's missing something, and I think this is going to be the patch that's really going to change that. Of course, you can use my hotfix bypass method to turn off the hotfix and get past these nerfs if you don't like them, but regardless, I think they're a good thing anyway. With that being said though guys, that does it for this video. Big thank you to channel members CookedKiwi and Valventin for all of their support, and with that being said, thank you for watching and have a nice day.